Hello, I'm Karl Wiegers, author of Successful Business Analysis Consulting, Strategies and Tips for Going It Alone. This is the 11th in a series of videos sharing some powerful advice from the book. I've worked for more than 130 clients in my career, including companies large and small in many lines of business, as well as local, state, and federal government agencies. It's nice to get repeat business from an established client instead of always having to find new ones. In this episode, I suggest some techniques to try to land repeat business from your clients. It's one thing to come into a client organization, do what they ask you to do, like teach a specific class or complete a particular project, and then depart. Maybe they'll call you back, maybe they won't. But I like to build a relationship with my key contacts at the client site so they understand just how useful I can be to them and think of me the next time they seek some assistance. I want them to know about all the resources I have available, and of course I want to do an excellent job in the first engagement. My pre-engagement discussions always include exploring information about the organization's culture and background so I can tailor my approach for maximum success. My goal is for each of my clients to think, I'd be happy to work with Karl again. One way to make clients happy is to identify and then address the root causes of the problems they are experiencing that led them to call a consultant in the first place. It's easy to come in and teach your standard course or to address the symptoms the client describes, but it's much more effective if you do some root cause analysis first to understand why those symptoms are there. Then you can tailor your interactions to address the real pain points, which sometimes aren't so obvious. I have a personal life philosophy to undercommit and overdeliver. This serves me well when I'm working with my consulting clients. Maybe I give them more than they expect, or they get their deliverables quicker and in better shape than they thought, or the price comes in below my estimate. These are all ways to delight your customers and make them more inclined to call you back the next time they want some help. Let's say a client calls you in to teach one class to 25 students. If the company is large enough to have other people who might benefit from the same class, perhaps you can license your course materials so the company can use their own instructors to present in the future. Or maybe they'd like to buy an e-learning version of that course to have available on demand as new employees come in. Or perhaps you can encourage them to hire another company to whom you've licensed your training materials for any future classes, so you can collect the royalty checks without having to be on site yourself. Or maybe you can do some future consulting work for them from the comfort of your home office instead of having to travel back to their location. Look for ways to try to leverage your initial face-to-face interactions with the client to generate passive income for you in the future. Another strategy for building a positive relationship that might land repeat business is to always be very candid with your clients. You need to tell them if you think an idea doesn't sound feasible or a solution doesn't seem effective. As an outsider, you have the advantage of not being caught up in the politics and history of the organization, the way we've always done things around here. People often are more receptive to frank observations about problems that come from an outsider. Speaking up early and honestly about problems improves your results and increases client satisfaction. Finally, put the client's interests before yours. You might see that you aren't the right person to take on an assignment or that a project doesn't have a solid business case. Even though taking the assignment would be financially good for you in the short term, your client will appreciate your honesty in addressing such concerns with them. A friend of mine said that in several such cases, she and the client were able to rethink the project's mission and purpose, possibly canceling either the initiative or her involvement in it. Whenever this type of situation arose, it led to repeat business with that client or to referrals to other companies that could use her services. Check out the other videos in this series for more tips drawn from my book, Successful Business Analysis Consulting. The book contains a lot more information about each of these topics. Even if you're not a business analyst, and even if you're not now an independent consultant or planning to be one, you'll find a lot of useful information here.